It's Nick here with Nick's Hard Rock CD album review. Hope everyone's doing well. Now, the band we're going to look at today is the band Europe. Now, this is their fifth album, and it's called Prisoners in Paradise, and they released this in 1991. This album was actually a follow-up to their two hugely successful multi-platinum albums, The Final Countdown and Out of This World. I've got those two albums, so I'll review them at a later stage. But yeah, this is a follow-up to those two albums, and unfortunately, it didn't do well in the charts. Well, especially in the United States, it didn't do anything actually, to be honest. It didn't do too bad in the. It didn't do too bad at all actually in some of the European countries, but I'll go into that. Here's a picture of the band while I read out the songs on the album. Okay. All or Nothing, Halfway to Heaven, I'll Cry for You, Little Bit of Lovin', Talk to Me, Seventh Sign, Prisoners in Paradise, Bad Blood, Homeland, Got Your Mind in the Gutter, Till My Heart Beats Down Your Door, and Girl from Lebanon. And as I said, there's a band there. There's Joey Tempest there, lead singer. Key Marcello, the guitarist. Mick McCarley, the keyboardist. John Norum, the bass player, and Ian. So I always forget his surname. Ian Hoagland, the drummer. So I said John Norum. It's John Levin. John Norum used to be the previous guitarist in Europe. So I was halfway there. But John Levin, the bass player there, not John Norum. Yeah, so there's a band there, and this album will be the last album to feature Key Marcello, the guitarist, in. So this is the last one he did. Now, in regards to this album, as I said, it didn't chart in the United States. Now, considering their previous two albums just went huge, well, all around the world, but particularly in the United States, it was strange. But times were changing. Obviously, 1991. Now, they released three singles, Prisoners in Paradise, I'll Cry for You, and Halfway to Heaven. In regards to this album, it did not chart anywhere in the United States. It charted number 61 in the UK, number 60 on the Dutch album charts, 38 on the German charts, the Austrian top 40, it reached number 32. Norwegian charts, number 18, and the Japanese charts, number 12. Now, it reached number 9 on the Swedish charts. Now, that obviously makes sense because this band came from Sweden. They were originally a Swedish band. And you can check out the history of these guys on one of my previous videos I did on Europe. But this album did achieve platinum album sales in Sweden, so that's good for them. Look, it's just a standard Europe album. I mean, you can't say anything more. It's got the catchy songs, it's got the big choruses, it's got obviously they got a keyboardist in there, in their group. So it's got the big keyboard sounds. It's just, it's nothing. I was going to say it's something out of this world, like their album cover, not like their previous album. But it's just good stuff. It's good sing-along music. It's good. It gets you in an upbeat mood, that kind of music. But I have actually read that just recent stuff in regards to Europe, that some of their recent albums have got very, very good reviews. So they still, now I don't have these albums. They still haven't lost their touch. These guys are still going. They haven't lost their touch. So that's good to see that. And a lot of bands are doing that now. A lot of bands that have been around for a long time have released new stuff, and they're sounding better than ever. So that's great to see that. Even guys from the early 80s, as Europe were, they started off in the very early 80s, maybe even the very late 70s, I think. I'll recheck that. But these guys have been around for a long, long time. But yeah, so it's great to see these bands are still going. They're either still making records or they're still touring. Well, they can't tour at the moment because of what's going on. But anyway, hopefully that will finish sooner rather than later, as we've all fed up with what's going on. But anyway, we'll stick with Europe at the moment. Look, in regards to my favourite tracks, I'd have to say Halfway to Heaven, I'll Cry for You, Talk to Me. They're just the big chorus songs, your standard hard rock big choruses. There's a song called Homeland. That's a very nice, slow, majestic sound. And if I remember, well, I obviously do listen to the lyrics of these songs, and just listening to the lyrics, I think it's about either Joey Tempest, the lead singer, or the whole band for that matter, talking about where they came from and thinking about childhood memories of their homeland, their home country, where they came from. So yeah, every time I hear that song, I always listen carefully to it. I always listen carefully to the lyrics because it's just talking about the band, obviously having pride and obviously having childhood memories of where they came from. So yeah, it's a nice song. Yes, that's the song Homeland. Now, the last song on this album, it's called Girl from Lebanon. Now, this should have been released as a single. I don't know why it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, the other songs that were released as singles they're good songs. But this one, it's fantastic. Girl from Lebanon. It's just got a great keyboard sound, and it's got a really great keyboard sound, and it just gets, and as the song progresses towards the end, obviously the crescendo, the height and crescendo of this keyboard sound just gets stronger and stronger, and it's a fantastic. I mean, it's a rocking song. It's not a slow song. It's a rocking song. It's got a really cool chorus, and the keyboard sound just captivates me. It just gets me every time. I can't stop turning that song up every time I listen to. Every time I listen to this album, that song I have to turn up. It's just the keyboard. I just love the keyboard in that song. But look, this album, it's a good album. I wouldn't say it's absolutely fantastic, but it's a good album, and it's definitely not a bad album by any means. It's a very good album. Now, look, in regards to a rating, I will give this album. I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. Now, obviously, they had more success with their previous two albums, the Final Countdown, which was just huge. The song especially, as well as the album, just massive. So, it's still a very solid performance from the guys from Europe. And, yeah. So there we go. Europe's fifth album, released in 1991, Prisoners in Paradise. So, thank you all again for watching, and I hope everyone's doing well and staying safe and staying positive. That's all we can do at the moment. But at least we've got this kind of music to think of a better time and a better time in our lives, and lots of great memories. So I'm really grateful that I can listen to all this stuff and do reviews and share my opinions with you guys, and yeah. So. Despite these dark times, all of this music, gives me pleasure. So until then, take it safe, everyone. Look after yourselves, and I will see you with another album review. Thanks again. Bye bye.